Hello, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to this week's episode of my show. But before I start, I want to wish all of you, every last one of you, a happy new year. Right? May this year be a year of success, a year of health, a year of strength, a year of breakthrough. May we accomplish all the things we want to achieve. May we hit all the targets we want to hit. And let's look forward to all the success that's on the way, right? So, without any further ado, let's talk about the most recent episode of Solo Leveling, Season 2, Episode 1. So, to briefly recap Season 1, we have this hunter who is called Song Jin-woo. He's basically the weakest hunter in the whole world, and because of that, pretty much every mission that he embarks in is extremely dangerous and is pretty much almost deadly to him. So, one day he finds himself in this dungeon where he nearly loses his life, but he's able to make it. He also awakens new powers and the ability to level up. He awakens the ability to level up, and that's exactly what he does. And by the end of season 1, he's extremely strong and he has this shadow army that fights alongside him. So season 2 happens sometime after season 1, and Jinwoo is attending a parent-teacher meeting at his little sister's school. And when Jinwoo meets his sister Jinha, she realizes that he's noticeably different. He's bigger, he's taller, he's more muscular. Even the aura that he exudes is very different from his usual self. Anyways, the parent teacher meeting goes on, and Jinha's teacher basically asks Jinwoo if he will ever let Jinha become a hunter. And he's like, no way, I will never do something like that. And she seems relieved, right? She also asks him for a favor. Initially, he doesn't know what that favor entails, but we come to find out that Hang Song-yi, which is a low-level hunter that Jinhoo has worked with before, she's actually a friend of Jinha, so Jinhoo's little sister. And she's a hunter, and her teacher doesn't want her to be a hunter because it's obviously very dangerous. So she tries to tell Jinhoo to basically talk her out of being a hunter. And that's exactly what he initially tries to do. But then he realizes that she's very stubborn and she's very determined. So he's like, okay, instead of me telling her to stop doing this, which she wants, let me actually take her to the grounds to face the reality and to see for herself how dangerous it actually is, so that she will quit on her own. So they plan on attending a training session basically for the White Tiger Guild, right? It's like a C rank dungeon, a C rank assignment. So for a high level hunter, it's not all that dangerous, but for a low level hunter, it might be actually quite dangerous. We then see Hwang Dong-soo, who is arriving in Korea. He's obviously coming to avenge his big brother because if you remember in season 1, his big brother Hwang Dong-suk tried to finesse Jinhoo in a dungeon, and that resulted in him getting killed by Jinhoo. And so Hwang Dong-soo inferred that Jinhoo was responsible for the death of his brother, so he's basically coming to seek revenge. We then briefly witness a discussion between the chairman of the Hunter Association and the master of the Hunter Guild, and they are basically talking about, they are alluding to a certain creature, but then we don't get that much information, but then it will probably pan out in the upcoming episodes. Jinwoo and Song Yi get to the dungeon they are supposed to attend, and they meet several hunters from the White Tiger Guild, including Kim Chu, an A rank hunter. And like many high rank hunters, he looks down on low level hunters, and he's all about self interest and furthering his own career. There are a lot of rookies and a lot of low ranked hunters on this mission. So even though it's actually a C ranked mission, so a relatively simple mission, things might actually get tricky, and things actually quickly get tricky. As soon as they enter the gate turns into a red gate. So in a red gate, they have no contact from outside and they can't get any help from the outside because no one can step in. And the gate will only reopen once they've completed the mission. And on top of that, it is filled with lots of dangerous creatures and monsters that they are going to have to defeat. So immediately they step into the red gate, they get attacked by an ice elf, and one person gets taken down on the spot. So Kim Chu, the A-ranked hunter who is leading the mission, decides to separate them into two groups, basically to ensure his own success and survival. And Hee-jin, a B-rank hunter, decides to join Jin-woo's team because she saw that Jin-woo was able to notice and stop an ice arrow. Meanwhile, Kim Chu, the A-rank hunter, wasn't able to do that. So she assumes that Jin-woo is actually not an E-level hunter, and he's just hiding his power level, which is true, by the way. They split into two teams, Chu's team and Jin-woo's team, and they go their separate ways. Chu later realized that he made Jin-woo the leader of the other team, even though he's a very low rank hunter, probably because he was subconsciously able to sense his actual power level. It doesn't take long before the fight starts, and you have the strong team, so the team led by Chu, who are facing ice bears, and it seems like they are not able to hold their ground. They quickly get overpowered, and Chu seems to be the only one who can actually put up a decent fight. So it's not looking good for them at all. On the other hand, the weak team, the supposedly weak team, so the team led by Jinwoo, they make their way into bear territory as well. And Hee-jin suggests that they leave bear territory because it's dangerous and they might get attacked by ice bears. And that's when Jinwoo tells her that now they should actually stay in here because as long as they are here, because of the presence of bears, other more dangerous creatures like ice elves, for example, will not dare to come in and attack them. So in a way, it's actually safer for them. It's actually a good strategy. Jinwoo gets the team some equipment to keep them warm, which is suspicious because a low-ranked hunter shouldn't be able to do that. But then by this time, they've pretty much all figured out that Jinwoo is not actually like an E-ranked warrior, and that he's just hiding his power level. So they go on. At some point, Yunho, so the guild master for the White Tigers Guild, arrives at the gate, but then there isn't much he can do because it's a red gate. And because it's a red gate, no one from the outside can intervene. So all he can do is just stand there and hope that some of his mates from the White Tigers Guild can make it out alive. While he's there, he discusses the case of Jinwoo with certain officials. And that's when they mention the fact that, yes, indeed, Jinwoo is quite suspicious because even though he's officially an E-ranked warrior, a lot of his abilities and a lot of his feats points out to the fact that he's actually much stronger than that. They then mention the possibility that Jinwoo may have reawakened. And when you reawaken, you can reawaken on a different level, apparently. It's been a while since I watched season 1, so I don't remember exactly if there is a reason as to why Jinwoo is deciding to hide his power level. Because I feel like if there was no repercussions for him actually saying that he can level up, I think by now you'll have said it. So if he's hiding it from them, there's probably a reason for that. But then they don't know any of this for sure, so they can only theorize, they can only suppose, right? Sometime after, Hwang Dong-soo also pulls up to the gate and he's obviously looking for Jinwoo to deal with him. But then because it's a red gate, he can't step in. All he can do is basically wait for Jinwoo and deal with him when he comes outside. So it's not looking good at all for Jinwoo because not only is he going to have to go up against a lot of monsters in that dungeon, but once he's done, he is going to have to face an S-rank hunter who is after him and who wants to kill him. So it's really not looking good for our guy. Back in the dungeon, we see that Jinwoo was able to effortlessly deal with the ice bears, and his comrades notice that he exercises a lot and they don't understand why he exercises, especially given that he's so strong. They don't know that that's one of the ways in which he levels up. So Jinwoo is able to locate the bear turf, and then he's able to handle pretty much the whole pack of bear at once by summoning the shadow army. When the final boss, so the big bear, when he comes out and he cakewalks through the whole shadow army, that's when Jinwoo commands Igris to defeat the final boss. And guys, I like Igris so much. I like his flow, I like his fighting style, I like his smooth criminal persona. I think he's a very interesting character, even though he's not really a character, I guess. But yeah, Igris is able to deal with the big boss. And of course, we go back to Kim's side, and Kim's team is facing the Ice Elves. And of course, they're getting their butts kicked because they are no match for the Ice Elves. At this point, almost the entire team has been taken down. I think there's only left with one guy. And when that one guy gets taken down, Kim flips out and he runs away. I don't know where he's running away to because the only way to get out of the gate is to beat the big boss. So I don't understand why he's running away. But at the end of the episode, we see the elf boss, and it's nothing crazy, but then he looks kind of cool. So we will see what he does in the upcoming episodes. So that's how the episode ends. I'm quite happy with this premiere, with this first episode of season 2. I think he laid the ground, I think he laid the foundation for a lot of the things that are going to transpire in the upcoming episodes. So I'm excited to see how Jinwoo and friends are going to handle the dungeon, how they're going to get out of the gates. And I'm even more excited to see what is going to happen once Jinwoo gets out of the gate and is confronted by Hwang Dong-soo. Because you know Hwang Dong-soo isn't going anywhere. He's going to stand in front of that gate until Jinwoo comes out. So I really want to know what's going to happen once Jinwoo comes out. So this is the end of the review. I'll see you all next week for the next episode's review. Until then, don't forget to like, leave a comment, follow me if you're not following me already, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and keep it locked to here if you want more reviews of your favorite shows. Until then, peace.